Alright, I thought this would be fun. We're going to make some cool cars. My inspiration was Chip Foose. Chip Foose he designs cool cars. He takes traditional cars and he makes them a lot cooler. He has his own show on cable. I've only seen it a few times, but I've been aware of his work for a long time. Um, for this assignment, you're going to need a pencil, paper from your sketchbook, color pencils or markers. Before we get started, I want to take a look at some cool cars. So I found these pictures at an estate sale. This guy had some cool cars, and I think I got his whole collection of cars. It's kind of neat. So let's see. That's an old sports car. It's called a Triumph TR2, I believe. He wrote on the back. TR2, 1954. There's a hot rod. That's a 32 Ford hot rod. Corvette. And a Corvette split window fastback. It's probably the coolest Corvette they ever made. So that guy really had some cool cars. Here's some old sales brochures I have from this is 1970. They used to make cars that were just really made for going fast, but look at the colors. Like a reddish, they call it rally red with these big black stripes on it. This one was like a silver gray with the black stripes. Here we have a Firebird with the orange racing stripes. Even the tires were cool. They actually had these tires with red stripes on them. So cool cars has been a thing for a long time. Even the artwork from these magazines or the brochures was really cool. So that's not a photo, that's a painting of the car. So they do these paintings to help sell the car. Actually, I want to look at it. These are paintings too. These aren't photographs, these are paintings. So car designers are people that come up with these cars. They develop the ideas for what cars are going to look like. And at one time, that was really a big deal. Here's another one. This is a painting. Someone got paid that worked at the car company. This would have been General Motors, to draw these and paint these illustrations for their books. Now these are actual photographs of what the car looked like on the inside. But yeah, there's a lot of art involved with cars. There always has been. So we're going to work on some cool cars today. I'm going to pause this and I'll come back and I'll get you started. Alright, so I'm ready to draw a cool car. Think of all the cars that you like or think are cool and try to come up with a way to make that car even cooler. And that's what Chip Foose does. He takes cars that have already been in existence and he makes them even cooler. So one way to make a car look cooler is to make it look fast. How does a car look fast? Well, by using lines that show movement. So for this assignment, I think you might want to find a straight edge. I'm going to use a ruler, but you could fold a piece of paper and have to make a straight line. It's going to be my baseline where my wheels are going to touch on. I don't want to have it all the way down at the ground or at the edge of my paper. Then I have to figure out my wheels. Now, you could get something to trace to make your wheels, or you could just draw your wheels. I like to make my wheels kind of oval because it makes it look like it's going fast. But I kind of have to get this car figured out. So, do you want your car low to the ground? Which is what a lot of these, those cars that can go sideways, and I can't think of the right words, the drifting cars. Those are really low to the ground. Or a lowrider car would be really low to the ground. Even like your Ferraris and your Bugattis and your Lamborghinis, they're pretty low to the ground. And that's because the closer you are to the ground, the less wind resistance you have. The wind just goes over you instead of going over you and under you. So it keeps you low to the ground, gives you better traction. I think I'm usually kind of a hot rod guy, but I think I'll try drawing something that's kind of fast today. So I'm going to go low to the ground. So I'm going to set another line real light, close to the ground. That's going to be how high my car is. And you need to go back a little bit. My front end's going to be here. My back end's here. I'm going to go with something kind of exotic, like a Ferrari style. So I got to come up in the back a little. Got to come up in the front. And I'm going to have to come back a little bit like that to make my front end. Sorry if you can't see that so well. Let me zoom in a little bit more. No, I think I'm all the way zoomed in. Let me bring it down. There we go. So right now it looks like a shoe. That's alright, it's not a bad way to start. I want to get this back end lifted up in the back. It's going to come up like that. Come down. Arch the top. I'll bring this down. Cut back. Put kind of a bumper look on there. Alright, I'm getting a good look to this car. Nice lines. I'll erase these. I'm sketching right now. I don't do anything real permanent. Feel free to get a picture off the internet. There's lots of how to draw videos too, if there's something real specific you want, but I want you to add your own style to it. Now, I need to get my wheels here. So, I know this is the bottom of my wheels there. Now I gotta turn my paper this way because I'm sitting way over here. I want to get my wheels kind of slanted and oval so it looks like it's moving. So I'm just kind of roughing those in. So they're not circular, they're not circles, they're oval. Gives it more movement. And I think I'm going to bring this down a little bit in the back. It's kind of high for a sports car. So I'm going to lose this. Alright, so that's looking pretty cool. Now all these little things like little angles and notches, things that are going to make it look interesting. I also have to be practical though. So I need a place where I'm inside it's going to fit like that more. I'm going to cut that back. This I'll kind of mimic the front. I'll bring that in. Kind of a bumper there. I can lose that line. Yeah, it's looking pretty cool. Alright. So this is how you should start out by just kind of, you kind of have an idea of what kind of car you think is cool. And then you start going from there. I can see like little things I need to fix. This line would probably actually come down like that. And my front bumper is going to have to come in like that. I'll start adding little details. Alright, I'm going to pause and come back. See what else I can do to this thing. I have to get some windows. Alright, so I cleaned it up a little bit, added some lines for my color. It's alright. Looks like a cross between a Dodge Challenger, a Camaro, a Mustang, and a Ford Probe. Not my best car creation, but it's not bad. So now I'm ready for color and a background, and we'll talk about that next week. This week just work on getting this card figured out and get your drawing all sketched out and cleaned up. Erase all of your sketch marks that you don't want. If you're not happy with how something's going but you really like your basic car, take a Sharpie and trace your car, then put it underneath a new piece of sketchbook paper, and you should be able to see through and retrace it in pencil. Oh, my cat likes it. Alright, that's it for this week. I will see you next week.